baby.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Yeah, baby.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Whoa.
Let's go. Hey.
Whoa.
Did you guys know that
Whoa.
that it's
Whoa.
Did you know that it's Hawk to Arber? To Ober? Did you guys know that? It was Hawk to Ober?
You know what? I support it.
Hawktober?
Hawktober.
That was much better.
Is that better?
What was the other thing you were trying to say?
The other thing I was trying to say is
Arber Jack Eye innocent. That's what you were
Steve,
trying to say.
the first thing you need to get mad about is TJ Ginla signed to the Kelowna Rockets today.
Ooh.
You could say that the WHL was foisted upon him.
Stop it! Stop it immediately! Jail. Immediate jail. How dare you? Horrible.
Okay, so I the reason I actually brought up Hillary Welch, who's Hawk Tua,
Haley.
or Haley Welch. Sorry.
I'm very up to date
Haley
on
Welch,
this.
is that she roasted Jeremy Swayman after the
that.
Yeah,
press conference. Roasted, at least according to a bunch of articles. I just thought it was a funny tweet. But
I like
Jesse, let's bring up Cam Neely for context here.
we have a live show next Wednesday.
Hey, I'll
Buy
get to
tickets.
that later. We'll get to that
I
later.
think we should leave with live show. Buy tickets.
Nah, buy tickets.
It's
Buy it.
Steve's book launch. So this link is in the description. Here we go.
Specifics here, be it what his ask is in terms of dollars or term?
Well, I don't want to get into the weeds with what his ask is, but I know that I have 64 million reasons why I'd be playing right now.
Now,
Didn't you-
that was spicy. And we got that maybe 10 minutes after it happened on the show.
We got it live on the show, and sometimes live is great because you get the raw reaction. Other times it sinks in a little bit, and sometimes the reaction's better. That is so greasy and unprofessional, and I cannot fucking believe he did that.
Now, let's hold on.
Okay.
Let's bring it back to Hawk Tua. All right?
Let's do it.
Because the Talk Tua podcast.
Third podcast
almost
in
ready
America.
for the Talk Tua By the way, it's the third biggest podcast in America right now.
Yeah, and
Anybody
the
making
least
fun of this girl? I
harmful-
don't get it. Why are you making fun of her? She's killing it right
The
now.
least harmful out of the top three.
Yeah, no kidding. Guess the guest next week, and somebody named Evan said Jeremy Swayman, and then she responded, not after he rejected $8 million at 8 years.
Whoa.
But when you break down what happened, obviously you got the Cam Neely thing, and then you've got the fact that Louis Gross actually had to make a statement.
Have fun going to war with that guy.
And yeah, what happened? Tell me a little bit about your history.
Well,
with
he's
Louis
William
Gross.
Nylander's agent. And what did Nylander get besides everything he wanted?
Now, Louis Gross responded later in the day, and this is after our show was done, and he said, normally I don't release statements or discuss negotiations through the media. Well, however, in this case, I feel the need to defend my client. At today's press conference, 64 million was referenced. This was the first time that number had been discussed in our negotiations. Prior to this press conference, no offer was made reaching that level. We are extremely disappointed. This is not fair to Jeremy. We will take a few days to discuss from here. And what's interesting then is Frank Saravalli followed that up with the best number that was reportedly offered by the Bruins was not 8 over 8, but 7.8 over 8. And you're saying, what's the big friggin' difference? Well, a couple $1 million. And until you're put in that position, you tell me how you'd feel by not having a couple extra million.
And now, and this is important, the last part is the spiciest, but it shouldn't be lost on anyone that means someone is lying. Someone is guaranteed to be lying.
I don't know that that's the case. I disagree with that.
Why?
Because I think Cam Neely offered up what their maximum was, and I think that Don Sweeney has been trying to get it underneath their maximum. I think as an organization, they got to the boardroom and they say, we authorized you. This is how it works. They authorize you to go to a certain number, try to get it under that number. I think the authorization number is 8 over 8, and Don was trying to get him at 7.5 to 7.8. And so I think Cam, not knowing that, probably not being there present for those negotiations, because they're usually one-on-one.
Then he shouldn't have said anything.
Well, then he shouldn't have said anything. So I don't think anybody's lying. I do think that's the organizational, that's where we're going and no further, at least right now. But I don't think that Cam is aware, maybe in that situation, that perhaps that hadn't been offered yet.
I think I'm in the minority in that I think that I'm the minority, but I think I'm the minority. I didn't realize
What do you mean, Jesse?
I think I'm in the minority.
But this is
that,
an equal partnership. What do you mean? Oh,
that I
Sorry,
think
go ahead.
all of this is kind of fine. And that in a week or two, he's going to sign for 8.3 or 8.2 million per season over the course of like 7 years. And everything's going to be fine.
you know what's so
I
frustrating?
think that's just how it's going to solve. And none of this is actually a big deal.
You know what's so frustrating is, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Right?
That's not, as a Leaf fan, that's not nearly as fun.
No.
Like, I've been Bill Hader all week. Oh, no. That's terrible. Like, I have
it would
been
be awesome.
eating this up.
If we sat here in 2 weeks' time, instead of having him just sign a normal contract, he's being traded.
Oh,
And we're like, oh my God, who's loading up with Swayman? Like, the world is changing. Could you imagine? Like, how does this end up? But I honestly think in like 2 weeks' time, we'll be like, oh yeah, they solved this.
Also, I looked at
could be in
their
2 days, man.
goalies.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me in the least if Korpisalo had a bounce back season, and they have two goalies behind him in Brandon Busey and Mikey DiPietro, and I'm like, yeah, I could see the Bruins turning one of them into an NHL goalie
100%.
at least. But until that happens, haha,
I kind of
It's funny.
trust in this process here that the Bruins are playing out.
I like how the
everything's
management
gonna be
handled it.
everything's gonna be fine.
I think, you know what, that Jesse, I agree with you. And I think whatever their management's doing, they should keep doing it. Like, I am rooting for you, Cam Neely and Don Sweeney. I think you should let Spit and Chicklets get in your shit and very obviously say it to the media every time you talk to them.
Let's go, Cam.
I can't believe
Let's go,
how
Cam.
Biz and Wit have just exposed these guys. These hard-bitten hockey legend. Cam Neely was a legend.
Who held
Is
out?
a legend.
What?
And yeah, he did hold out. That's
Lol. Hypocrite. Lol.
but I just find this hilarious, and it all comes down to like what happened in late August, and Chicklets coming out with what they had, and the Bruins going, spitting up on yourself, podcast. You don't know anything. And I look at this, and as a Leaf fan, I want to tell you, I think we need to take a moment here and revel in the Bruins, because here's the thing. What we've seen before is Marchand took a great deal because he wants to win, and Pasternak took a great deal because he would play for free. Bergeron, well, you know, he's everybody's favorite guy, and you finally have fucking Bruin going, no, fuck this shit. I'm staying out until I get the number I deserve. And you know, it's interesting. We did an entire podcast on this situation just this morning with Alan Walsh. And he actually
did?
Yes.
Oh.
And he goes into the, so that'll come out. I don't know when that's
It's out on Friday morning.
Out on Friday morning.
Oh, that's not soon enough. Okay.
So what I love about this is he talks about why the goalie market's been capped since Martin Brodeur.
Oh.
It's a lingering thing since Brodeur was at his peak.
Ooh.
Tell you about it. And there's a really great story about a client he had in a similar situation to Jeremy and how the deal got done. It's unbelievable.
Did
So that's a
Brodeur
shameless
Hulk
plug.
Hogan goalies around the NHL?
You'll find out.
All right, we're three Leafs fans sitting here.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree with me that I would rather have Cam Neely out there talking whatever kind of mess he wants to talk in the media than have Brendan Shanahan, who's never said anything to anybody ever in his entire tenure as a Toronto Maple Leaf president?
Oh, listen. There's no way to shape what Cam Neely did as anything other than unprofessional and greasy. And the answer to your question is yes.
I'd rather that guy being the captain of my ship than the guy who's never done anything.
Yeah, you get Shanahan. Like, what behind the scenes, we shouldn't have seen that, moments have we had with Brendan Shanahan?
He nicks a couple trades that Dubas wanted to do.
Yeah, and
that's
also
all we got.
And there was
called Bacchus a piece of shit,
But there was also
which is very funny.
hang on. We also have that when the Nylander discussions began, he said, you know, all the guys in Detroit took less to be there.
Well, and I think most importantly,
But none of them listened.
first of all, if that was your goal, we all very publicly watched you fail miserably at it.
Oh, so you suck at your job and you admitted it to
Dude,
us?
you friggin'
thanks.
stink. Like, oh my god. But they haven't fucking won a thing, right? So name a president. Would you prefer that one?
Name a woman.
That one. Name
Name a woman.
Name a woman.
Name a woman for $1. Name a woman. Name a woman.
You should do the Billy on the Street meme, but it's name a president.
Stevie
Name a president.
Name a hockey president.
Name an NHL president. Name
Actually,
one.
you could do that really well. Could we do a Stevie on the Street?
100%.
That would be like, especially around, when we're around the playoffs. I know you can't be down there, but man, that would be fucking hilarious.
For $1.
Name a woman.
Here's the thing. Somebody did lie at the press conference, but it's,
Yeah.
it's not who you think it is.
Who was it?
It was Don Sweeney.
Oh,
He didn't say
Sweeney
anything.
lied. And it's a fib more than a lie. Like listen, if we're
What?
being honest, all lies are bad, but there are fibs that it's passable. And then there's like outright lies that damage.
I'm
things.
sorry. Can I address the audience for a moment? That's not true.
There's a fib. This is a fib.
That's not true.
And I will show you, because he said we've already told Eunice Corpusalo he will be the opening night starter.
Love
and
it.
so they went right to Corpusalo and they said, so how do you feel about that? And he said, no one's told me anything.
Oh God, I love it.
Isn't that the
I
best?
love it.
That's a fib.
Bruins fans, listen, I don't want to hear shit from any of you. Give me this. Give me this. You know why I need this. You know why I'm reveling in this.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't beat them, hope they get into a very public labor dispute. I always say.
Yeah, if you
And
can't
they
beat
certainly
them,
can't
bring
beat
them
them.
down with you.
Yeah. No. Which is a very human thing. We're not trying to lift each other up. I'm trying to drag you down to hell with me.
But fun. Have fun with it.
Have fun with it.
Right. We want to have fun.
We'd like to have fun in hell.
If we're going to hell, we're going to have a good time on the
Yeah, casual Fridays. Bring a Hawaiian shirt. Something like that.
Let me ask you this, guys. So at this point, even if Swayman signed this minute, he wouldn't be the opening night starter because there's no way he'd be ready, right? We're too late probably in the preseason.
I've wondered that, but each passing day, it's like, probably not.
Yeah. So then what do we expect? How long does it take a goalie? Because this is now, I understand what Swayman's doing. He wants to reset the RFA goalie market, and he should. And then Shesterkin next summer is going to reset the UFA goalie market, and he should.
Mm-hmm.
What does the thing, the entity, usually it's the player, all the players not getting paid. By the way, players don't get paid till game 1 of the season. So he's not missed any paychecks yet. But as soon as game 1 happens, he will.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But what does this do to the Bruins organization and their hopes? Let's say it goes a couple weeks. Does it matter? Probably not.
Nah.
It matters entirely on their start.
Right.
To me. I mean, if they do poorly, Swayman gets more and more leverage in the situation. If they do well, Bruins fans, they're waiting. They're waiting. And I know it's going to happen. And Bruins fans, I know you. And they're waiting to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how it is right now. They're in a real moral conundrum.
Yep.
I know you. They're in such a moral conundrum because Swayman is adorable babyface. Neely, boy, that's complicated.
What did he do during his playing career again?
He did a lot of really good shit with the Bruins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then what happened?
Well, then he got hurt
And held out,
and held out,
right?
which not a lot of people are holding against him. But at the end of the day, he is an authority figure with the Bruins, and the Bruins are the team that I cheer for. And Swayman is this adorable baby face. And the moment they come out of their first 15 games with a record of 10-5, they will bury that young man. People with Swayman jerseys will be saying the most heinous shit about that.
It'll be like Cutter Gauthier leaving Philly.
It won't be wait till Swayman joins us. It'll very quickly, for at least a portion of the Bruins fan base, be we don't need you. That's what it's going to be.
And okay, that would be, I hope that Jeremy, if that happens, I hope he hears that and he requests a trade because nothing.
Go.
Listen, I'm
it.
on a high right now. You want to see me on a real high. I want Jeremy Swayman out of the division. I want him out.
You know that
'Cause I love him
episode
and
of
he's
South
great.
Park where Mr. Mackey just does a bunch of drugs and floats throughout the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be me. Sway. And just so happy that he's traded.
I
Oh,
feel some resistance to giving in to Jeremy Swayman if I'm Boston,
Why?
because I can't get past the numbers of him needing to prove that he thinks what he is, because if you look at just like strictly what he's done last season, he finished behind his tandem goaltender in the Vezina Trophy voting. First of all, he
did.
Allmark was 6th in Vezina Trophy voting. Swayman was 7th. The year before that, Allmark won the Vezina. And Swayman was not considered for it.
Cool. So what the Bruins get for Allmark? I bet it was a lot.
Well, yeah, that's besides the point. And besides that, he's never been a full-time starter.
Yeah.
So we know he can perform in this tandem role where he's starting 40 games a year. But for him to be like, I'm the guy who deserves all the money. If I'm the Bruins, I think they're doing the right thing by holding firm on $8 million, which is still crazy for your starting goaltender.
Jesse, Wolves signed. His contract extension kicks in next year. Yeah. It's fine.
I don't have to artificially deflate the prices of goaltenders because Joseph Woll's good.
Listen, I've always been very publicly pro player when it comes to salary. I've always been very pro. I hope they get as much as possible. Right? Everyone has been, right?
That's right.
Of course. Sure. That's a little different when it's your team, isn't it?
I think less years at $8 million makes a ton of sense, and I don't know why these two guys can't just kiss and do it.
No, we've talked about that
think they
for
want
at least a month.
Right?
No, like...
Just do 4 years. Do 4.
Do 3, 4, like a shorter deal here.
Do the prove it.
It seems like the very... easy solution here.
Well, now I think I was wrong. I would have thought it would have been Jeremy Swayman's camp that would have wanted less years on the last show. From what Friedge reported, it's actually Swayman's camp that's like, no, it's going to be 8 or nothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the ones pushing for the long-term deal. They want it now.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's probably, and I get it from Boston's perspective, like the Bruins management, which is, you've okay. Yes, you've done all these things and you've been great for us and we think you're spectacular and that's why we want to keep you here long term. But like 8 years at that money, we still haven't seen you be the number one. You've been a tandem guy the whole time.
Let's say it's 8.5.
Yeah.
Right? Ooh. And he signs for 3 years, 8.5. If he performs the way an $8.5 million goalie performs, if he performs the way Jeremy Swayman has performed over the last couple of years, his ask is no longer 10 or whatever it was. It's 12. 11, 12.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay, what Shesterkin got, now add 3 years of salary cap escalators on that.
Yes.
And he's probably number 1 or 2 in goaltending.
And God forbid he outperforms him. Then you're just boned.
That's also fantastic for the Bruins.
Good problem.
That means for those 3 years, you get that level of goaltending. It's a win-win for all of us here, people.
Yeah, you get to continually fuck the Leafs in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I also got to be I wonder what Jeremy Jacobs is thinking right now. Because he's very
so rich.
Yeah, I'm just so rich.
More ice cream. Buy my fucking ice cream. Buy it, every flavor. Rum raisin is $13 a pint. I don't give a shit.
That's now more involved. I mean, he's still Jeremy Jacobs. I don't think Jeremy Jacobs is a little like Succession light. Like, I don't feel like he's a guy that's ever going to step down, but his son is actually doing a lot more.
I'd like to be adequately compensated. Oh, fuck off. Like, I could totally see that. I picture him as much more of a Mr. Burns type. Who's this cantankerous backstop who's supposed to stand in front of the cow poo that we froze?
Is he going to block out
in the
sun?
snowbank? That's Jeremy Swayman, sir, Sector 7G. Like, he's going to block out the sun. He's going to get shot by a 2-year-old.
You went Chief Wiggum.
Was that Chief Wiggum?
Yeah, you went a little Chief Wiggum.
Yeah, even Maddie.
They're probably the same voice actor.
Yeah.
Maybe, but
damn.
I
know. I don't do great Simpsons.
So it's Charlie Jacobs is the guy that's really sort of, he's the chief executive officer and alternate governor of the Bruins. So
yeah, but Jeremy's the money.
Yeah.
The owner of the Boston Bruins has a son named Charlie.
Love
it. Yeah.
Charlie, Cam, and Harry.
Dude, that team has the strongest brand in the NHL. They do. Everything they do is so Bruiny.
Wouldn't it be sick if they didn't?
Yeah, it'd be real
That's
sick
why
if
I'm
they
loving this. I hope this continues.
lost a
Go,
negotiation
baby.
and a bunch of games and were shit. But I'm gonna keep holding out hope.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. I'd be so upset as a Leaf fan if Stamkos and Swayman fucking left the division in within one summer.
What the hell's that dragon where you cut a head off and 3 grow in its place?
Yeah.
Like that's this friggin' team.
It's true.
Bergeron and Chara and Rask and they just keep,
Lucic, Boychuk.
yeah, they just keep growing back.
That's true.
I feel like the Hound when he's in the final fight with the Mountain. Just why won't you fucking die?
Oh my goodness! Don't,
Like what?
don't shake the mic like that. So that's-
Yeah, so maybe like when I first saw Trent Frederick play, I was like, "Fuck, another one."
Oh,
Oh yeah.
just skates up to a guy. Wham! Who wants it? Skates away. I'm like, that's the Bruiniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I think.
Yeah,
Where do they find these guys?
yeah, they know. They
It's
know.
like the universe went, Justin Brazeau's in the Leafs organization? That's fucking stupid. Put him on the, there you go. See how he's good immediately? Anyway, I hope Swayman gets 12.
Go, Jeremy. Hey, whatever your ask is, Jeremy.
No, wait, you need to be specific.
no, Jeremy Swayman.
Swayman. Go Swayman, not Jacobs.
Yeah, go Swayman. Whatever your ask is, up it by $500,000 a year.
Yeah, can't wait for this show to be uploaded. And 5 minutes later, Jeremy Swayman sends an 8-year, $3 million contract.
Hey, Jesse. You know why I want to say?
What's up?
So Steve's in the CJ group chat yesterday,
Okay.
early on in the day, and he says something that I think
Now what?
we need to talk about this because only a chronically online person in the moment, without looking at any of the history,
Okay.
would say this.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Oh.
there was the slight whiff of a trade with Swayman. And Steve's like, well, who could trade for him? Nobody's got any cap room. Now, Jesse,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when a really good player becomes available,
Yeah.
is cap room ever really an issue?
No, you find a way.
Yeah.
You make it work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Steve has missed the entire history of the Vegas Golden Knights.
I did. And you know what? Ilya Samsonov needs a backup.
There you go, right? I feel like there are teams that I look at Colorado's goaltending, I look at Vegas's goaltending.
Colorado makes so much sense. Oh,
Yeah.
I look at
Something has to go the other way too, Steve. You know, like,
Nah.
to free up space.
I looked at the Allmark trade and no, it doesn't. No,
Well,
it doesn't.
that's actually kind of true. They would see the Allmark trade. They've given the Bruins a pass on. I don't know why Bruins fans have given them a pass on that. You're
they're-
telling me you couldn't sign a goalie of Eunice Corpusalo's skill level for $1 million less per year? Yes, you can.
So
you
Bruins
can.
fans, they're very smart. And they all noticed that and went, whoa, wow, okay. But they trust the team because they should. The
Man,
team has
what's
earned
that
that.
like?
I have no idea. I have no concept. I have no gauge.
Remember when we did for like a hot minute and everybody's like, you're stupid, don't do that. And they were right.
At every turn.
Somewhere
At every
between
fucking turn.
The late Lou, early Dubas years, we started to trust them. Stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, Pierre Engvall is supposed to be a healthy scratch opening night. Keep signing those 7-year contracts there, Lou.
I say we put them in the top 6. Anyway, continue. Anyway, you continue on the Bruins thing. They trust management.
Yeah. So they know it's bad and they're going to back pocket it. It's there. It's in the back of their mind next to their Dunkin' order. And they're going to hold on to it for when the team slips up, which is kind of never.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. They never do.
Ever under any
So, but if
circumstances.
they did, Boston's known for being a forgiving market.
This is the most annoying part as a Bruins hater. You're right. We know what that market can be. And it can be ugly.
Look at the Celtics when they don't perform.
Oh, it's cannibalism. It's absolute cannibalism. And we know it's there. And it's just there, teasing us, laying dormant like a cicada. And it only
For about
emerges,
15 years.
it only emerges every 17 years or something. Oh, it's right there. Give me it. Give me it. I can't wait to hear the like. I need it. I need it. But it's until it shows up, I won't believe that it's there.
Jesse, do you have something?
Just on the one note on Jeremy Jacobs, back in September of 2019, he did hand over the operations of the team to his children. and he's still the governor and everything. Like he'll represent the team as the governor of the Bruins, but the children, Charlie and Laine, mainly the Boston residents, are running the team day to day.
Well,
So-
who's going to
so
tell other
wait,
owners
wait.
to sit down and shut the fuck up during the next leg of
Yeah.
negotiations?
So wait,
We need Jeremy.
the Board of Governors meeting that just happened, Jeremy Jacobs would have been the governor representing the Bruins.
Yes.
That's a good question. I don't know. We can ask CJ, but he might have sent his kid Charlie, but he might probably think he's probably still going himself.
Well, you
'Cause-
probably send a couple reps, right? So you bring Charlie in. Charlie, we're going to show you how this works.
yeah, and that was in 2019, so maybe Charlie's already taken over the reins where he's going to these meetings. But Jeremy Jacobs is still like classified as the governor of the team.
Right.
Yeah, so he's probably still going to these things. Yeah, he's 80. He's in his mid 80s.
Yeah,
like
like-
he's up there.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, by NHL standards, that's in his prime. What are you talking
If
about?
I was a billionaire in my 80s, like I would go to the games, but I'm not running the team anymore.
No, I think at that point, that's when you exercise. Like, I truly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, no, I think like you're even more in hands on.
Oh, really?
Like,
'Cause
you
you
want to
don't care
be
about
Jerry
it.
Jones, where you're doing every day. You're doing a press conference, just talking about guys and doing the contracts yourself.
He's
like, that's
never
what you want
given a fuck, though.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right.
I mean, a league that has Gary Bettman as the commissioner, Lou Lamoriello leads the Islanders, Cliff Fletcher is still actively a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Like, how
Should we go on?
How old is Larry Tannenbaum? Is he not?
Larry's 82, 83 years old.
He just bought and founded a new franchise that won't start till 2026. He's starting a new business, a WNBA team in Toronto.
Dude hates
79.
the beach.
And he
Hates the beach.
And by the time that team is on the court and playing games, he's going to be in his 80s.
Never even heard of the beach. Oh my God.
These guys never stop.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I do want to say too, looks like Larry is only the 1300th richest person in the world, according to Forbes magazine. I just looked it up. Only 1300th. Can you imagine? He didn't even crack the top 1,000. Sorry, Larry, but I'm sure you will when you sell your shares to Rogers.
That's actually so deeply depressing. I wonder if the sale even puts him into the top.
Oh, I'm sure it puts you at least a little bit closer, but I don't know,
Holy
right? Because
shit.
you're talking about, like, they're saying Elon Musk in the next decade is going to hit $1 trillion, right? So
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, no, it could
Gotta root for the little guy.
So yeah, like,
And that's the money that we think we know. Like
Oh,
that's,
yeah,
all
that's
of
an
the
estimate.
Forbes things are just public money that you can guesstimate. That doesn't account for the people who have private wealth.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
It's all imaginary.
Swiss bank accounts.
Stacks of gold bars in a cave somewhere.
Oh yeah. No, and listen, let me say this too, and we'll get to the Board of Governors and the Gary Bettman stuff a little bit later in the show. But Gary did tell, because he sits down with Sportico before every season, he did say to them, like, you know, they asked him, like, okay, so the Rogers Bell sale, do we finally have a $3 billion NHL team? And he said, if just the Leafs went to market, he said, I don't think they'd sell a penny under a $5 or $6 billion mark.
Yeah.
And I think he's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's his job to puff out his chest and bluster with all that stuff. Yeah, no, they probably go for a shitload of money.
Yeah.
The value of sports franchises, regardless of the health of that franchise, is skyrocketing. What is the value of a sports franchise that actually makes money?
Oh, and a lot of money.
Right.
Like, it makes you money year over year, not just when you sell it.
So currently, it's funny that we're talking about this because another Boston team, the Boston Celtics, are for sale right now. And their estimated price is going to be $6 or $7 billion.
Man, the Jacobs
So-
buy them. Buy them.
I don't think so.
Oh, they should.
There's a lot of buyers in that. It's probably gonna happen sometime soon, but they're gonna be around $7 billion. So you can guesstimate that the Leafs should be around 6. You know?
Yeah.
like that's the Boston Celtics. The Leafs aren't far off of that,
Which would mean the Rangers are
value.
somewhere in the $5 to $6 billion mark too, because the Rangers and Leafs are always the two highest value teams.
Yeah.
But it's funny when they do these Forbes or Sportico, whatever valuations, they're valuing like, well, we think the land is worth, and then we think the building is worth, and we think the costs are worth, and we can look at their financial statements because they have to publish them. And you know, the reality is the open market, which is why Alan doesn't like a salary cap, because it's not open market. But when you get to an open market, you can have a bidding war, and up goes the price.
I don't imagine the Leafs would sell for anything under $6 billion.
No,
like,
and
they
that's
would,
U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want to say this very quickly before we move on from the Boston Bruins. An old friend of the show, Sophia Jerksiewicz, who is the Nesson Bruins sideline host reporter, has said she's taken a bit of a leave. She said, don't worry about me too much, but best fans of the world. And she did sign an extension this summer, so she will be back, but she's got some things to take care of. And Steve, I know you worked directly with Sophia at Hockey Night in Canada for a bit.
Yep.
And
I helped her research some stuff. I mean, she was the brains behind it all. But no, we went to school for 4 years together.
yeah. Yeah.
No, she's always destined for success. One of the hardest workers out there.
And also one of the most positive people I think any of us have ever met.
Oh, like just I mean, you know me. I try to be positive, and then sometimes something happens.
And then the Tina worry slips in.
Yeah, and I go on my rants. Like, she's just absurdly. I'm jealous of her, frankly. Like, just the way she is. It's not put on at all.
There you go. There you go. So I just wanted to do a quick little shout out because Sophia was always really, really good to us when she was at Sportsnet. Now, before we move to the next story, which is obviously a big one, and that would be, are you ready? Well, I mean, there's a few big ones we can get to. Do we want to, I'll let you guys choose your own adventure in a second. First, Jesse,
Yeah.
you need to apologize.
For what?
Greg Renfro reached out to me
Yes.
on behalf of everybody in the city of Raleigh and the state of North Carolina. He said, I am going to need Jesse to issue a formal apology to the city of Raleigh and the state of North Carolina for calling us Midwestern. Having us on the no trade list is fine, but Midwestern is something we cannot accept.
Yeah.
I am not the best at U.S. geography. I'm going to pull up a map here. Hold on, give me 1 second. I apologized in the episode, so
I think
we need it more formally.
Put it on Instagram on the Notes app.
I
You have to physically kiss
apologized
someone's bum.
literally after I said it. I was like, oh yeah, Charlotte's like over there. So I'm looking at a map of the United States right now for everybody listening. Where North Carolina is on the coast. It's right between Virginia and South Carolina. In my mind, so Charlotte's over here. It's pretty inland for where North Carolina is, but it's still along the eastern coast, right? Yeah. In my mind, Charlotte is somewhere around where Kentucky, Tennessee is, more in line of like where Nashville is. So that's where I was thinking when I called them Midwesty, because St. Louis is all the way over here. I thought Charlotte was like in here where Kentucky, Tennessee is, but they're over here on the eastern coast. So that's just explaining what my mind is thinking. I apologize. I've heard a lot of good things about Charlotte.
Also,
It's also Raleigh.
the
by the way,
Midwest-
where they play in Raleigh.
Oh, sorry, Raleigh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Charlotte's like the main city like that I was thinking about for when I think about North Carolina.
the Midwest/West of the U.S. starts so arbitrarily and abruptly.
Yeah.
Like Chicago, like Illinois. That's the Midwest, as I understand.
You can't get more Midwest than that.
Right.
Missouri, Illinois, Kansas.
And it's further east than most of Louisiana. Like, just looking at this map, and parts of Tennessee.
But Louisiana's the South.
What? But what?
It's the South.
Well,
That has nothing to do with East or West.
Also,
No, it's the South. It does.
guys, you got to remember too. You see, okay, so New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, which is what they say in every Civil War movie. I fought for Virginia. North Carolina, South Carolina. You see how it kind of hooks down and then bends when you get over Florida?
What are you talking about?
There is a mountain range. Yes.
Yeah.
There is a mountain range
Is that
between Kentucky. Yeah, the Appalachians. Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and then it swings down, and you can see that. So that's part of the reason why too that those states are weirdly, they're weird, they're misshapen, they're strange.
Someone's been watching TikTok.
Yeah, well,
Is that a TikTok?
not that.
What are you
No, I do that on my
Appalachia.
own. That's how lame I am.
Everything I've learned about Appalachia is against my will.
Yeah,
But the algorithm's just like you
need to
need to watch this movie from 15 years ago in 146 parts.
Yeah.
And learn about Appalachia.
Yes.
Also, there's a guy with a mask and a neck pillow in the bottom corner, and he's going to scare you at the end of every video because you forget he's there.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when?
Hey, do you want to watch the entirety of Yellowstone in 800 parts? Well, here it is.
What's with the guy too on TikTok? By the way, they're like, "Here, watch with me."
No, I don't want
Just
to.
the guy sitting at the bottom.
What is this? What is this?
We're
What is
talking
happening?
about Chronically Online.
What is
Jesse, get
happening?
involved.
Maddie, bring up the map here. This summer in the last 2 weeks, so America, I have visited you. In the last 2 weeks of August, I was in 7 states in the span of 2 weeks.
7?
I was in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you got to go through it, Maine, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Did I say Massachusetts? In Massachusetts, because so we drove down through here and then around through New York, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and then and Connecticut. That was the other
Make
one.
it one
and
state.
then Connecticut, and then Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, and back up through Quebec.
Make it one state.
I
That's
know
enough.
that part of the U.S., just not this middle portion where all the places are.
You're still wrong.
I'm sorry.
Still wrong.
Um,
Idiot and dumb.
Idiot, stupid, dumb.
Idiot, stupid, dumb.
Anyway, so are you going to issue your formal apology to Greg?
Just to Greg.
Formal
Just to
apology.
Greg.
How many times do I have to say it?
Specifically to Greg. Please look at the camera. Look, Greg.
What's Greg's last name?
Renfro. Look Greg in the eye.
Greg Renfro from, where is he from?
Raleigh.
Greg Renfro from Raleigh, North Carolina.
The greatest Midwestern city in the country.
In the Union.
I'm so happy that you live in a fantastic Midwestern town. I apologize that you could not be more Eastern.
Like, dude, they
you
have
go.
beaches. Like,
A lot of places have beaches.
that's fair.
They do. I have been to a South Carolina beach. My grandparents used to snowbird down there. So,
Snowbird.
yeah, there's Myrtle Beach.
Cool. I have seen a P.D. Pablo music.
What's your
video.
favorite state?
My favorite state?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I like Tennessee a lot, man. We've had a good time in Nashville.
We've been to Nashville twice as a crew.
Florida used to be fun and is now kind of scary. Right? Like not just the gun thing, but like when I was there was like a conservative radio station on, and this was 4 or 5 years ago, and they're like, what are we going to do about the rising water? Because like that's an issue in Florida of like the rising tides, and they're like, oh, I don't know what's causing this, but it sure is bad, and we can't get insurance for our homes. Like,
You know what? Critical race theory is causing it.
yeah, exactly. So I just Florida. You know what? For me right now, I will always love Pennsylvania the most. It's where my mother is from. I love Idaho. I love Montana.
No. You gotta give us a
Pennsylvania.
definitive 1 through 5.
Oh,
since you got
definitive 1 through 5
Yeah.
that I have been to because I haven't been to all of them.
Yeah,
like I haven't
obviously.
even been to Nevada.
your personal 1 through 5 favorite states in America. Go, Steve. I'm gonna ask you right
You haven't
after.
been to Nevada?
No,
You ever been to Vegas?
no, you guys know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
told
do.
you that.
That's
Never
the
been.
weird thing we know.
We'll fix that.
The weird thing we
No, that is...
We'll fix that.
Okay, here.
Yeah, Steve. After Adam's done, you get to pick your favorite states in America 1 through 5.
Okay, so let me have a look here. All right, so like I've only been through a Texas airport.
This
so
is
that's
more
not
important
fair.
than Jack Eye. Stop
Yeah,
yelling at your
absolutely.
phone.
We're not even getting to Jack. I'm making you wait for Jack Guy. All right. So I'll say this. I'm gonna go Pennsylvania number 1. I'm going starting from best. Pennsylvania. Number 2 for me is gonna be Tennessee just because of the good times. The good times in Tennessee have been amazing. Number 3, I fucking love California. I don't know what it's like to live there. I hear it's a bit weird. It might fall into the sea, but man, do I love California, man. LA is gross and awesome and amazing and beautiful and also scary, and everything about California is amazing. And what an amazing lifestyle. You can go to the beach in the morning and go skiing in the mountains in the afternoon. Idaho is, I love Idaho. Have you ever been to Idaho?
No, I'm just
First off,
shocked.
do you know that there's a town called Athol in Idaho? Did you know that?
There's a street called Athol in Oshawa.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, a bunch of
So
Athol.
I'm going to use
that
Idaho next.
4?
And the most
that?
beautiful place
No,
I
that
have
was
ever seen.
Was that already 5?
No, this is my 5th. Is Montana. That's where I crossed the border from Alberta to go into Montana, and the border agent said, "What brings you to the land of milk and honey?" And I'm like, "God damn it, I love America."
And you said Don Cherry.
Don Cherry does. No, I love Montana. Montana is fucking gorgeous. So go to Montana. Sorry, Washington State, you're number 6.
Can you give me your 1 through 5? Do you remember
Coward.
your order, Adam?
Coward.
Oh, Pennsylvania,
What happened?
Pennsylvania, Tennessee, California, Idaho, Montana.
Okay, Steve.
California. We went all around it for our honeymoon, and it was awesome. And like, it's an unfair advantage, but that's why California is number 1. For me, I'm gonna go number 2. I think this is gonna shock people. Massachusetts. Every time I go, I have a great time, whether the Leafs lose a playoff game 8-3 or not. Might have been 8-2. Tennessee, really good times. Love it. Pennsylvania, always really good times. Love it. And I think I'll throw New York at number 5. I have not been to enough states.
I haven't either.
There are some Capitals fans who are probably really hurt right now.
I do.
and
DC's awesome.
Yeah, but like
It's not a state.
I was in 3 different states, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And that are all
Virginia. Virginia. Maryland, Virginia.
Do you see what just happened there? My
Virginia.
mouth wouldn't say a full word. It was, I don't know what state I was in at any given
Well, your
moment
DC
when
is
I was
not
down
a
there.
state. So if you'd ask me what are your favorite cities, Washington DC would be on. I fucking love Washington.
But then I stayed in, I think the book signing was actually physically in Virginia. And I
Sorry,
think I stayed
Virginia.
in Virginia. And I think I was in Baltimore for like part of it.
Okay. I've been to Baltimore.
That's
I've
all
been to Baltimore too.
very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's where they
there's
shot
my
the
5.
wire. Jesse, do you have a top 5 while we're on this?
Yeah, New York 1,
Good one.
2 Massachusetts, 3 Nevada, 4 Tennessee, and 5 Maine.
Yeah. This is the problem with the Americans is that they have so many states that you leave out good ones. Like
Oh yeah,
New York, how do you not have a good time in New York City?
Got to be number 1.
Also, one of the best racetracks in the world is Watkins Glen, upstate New York. Shout out. And then you got how much fun did we have in Boston when the Leafs got their asses kicked in the playoffs, and we had a blast at TD Garden.
Oh,
like
yeah.
those fans were amazing.
I love a Bostonian.
You guys ever been to
no
Cape
question.
Cod?
Never have.
Oh, gorgeous.
You went this summer, right?
Yeah, Cape
My
Cod's
mom keeps
awesome.
telling me, she's like, you got to do this. And then apparently it's either, I think it's Connecticut where all the old mansions are. So like the Vanderbilts and the Astors and all that. And they have them as like museums now because they're too big for any rich person to actually take care of. And and apparently they're amazing, like history tours. So gonna do that.
You go to Deep South, you see a lot of old slave houses. Same thing.
Jesse,
God damn. Here, I'll say
No,
this.
you like big old houses, Adam. Let's take a trip down south.
Yeah, let's have a wedding there.
What is that reference?
That's a
Everybody.
reference to lots of people have weddings there.
in those houses now.
And they
Well, you got to do
maybe-
something with them. The tours for Adam.
Tours for Adam?
Stop it. Did you see that?
No, here, sorry. What's that? Someone at one of our Nashville events, someone was like, I drove from Arkansas to be here. And I remember going, holy shit, that's insane.
It is pretty far.
Because I don't know the states and where they are. They're right next to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
next door.
Yeah, man, I drove like half an hour to be
They
here.
could have been like on the corner, you know.
I have no idea.
I thought you meant Toronto. You mean at our Nashville?
Oh, no, that'd
no.
be psychotic. No, I meant the Nashville one.
They were in Arkansas, which is like attached.
Well, it was either Arkansas or Alabama, and they both neighbor Tennessee.
By the way, I want to say that we had, when we did that Nashville thing in the 2022 draft, we had every state that surrounds Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, even Virginia. We had people from all of those states coming in, and all they could talk about is how hockey's growing in all those states, which I thought was really great. Super cool.
Gun to my head. If you were like, point out Arkansas, I'd probably make it Utah.
Utah's over in mountains, man.
Yep.
Mountains, Colorado, Utah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Atlanta needs a team. Like it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, they're gonna get one.
Yeah.
They're gonna get one.
Yeah, that way, if you're a hockey fan in Arkansas, you can easily commute there.
So
Sorry.
So, so listen, there's a lot of other stuff that we have got to talk about. A lot.
Like what? What happened?
And I want to start with Gary and the Board of Governors stuff. And I'm going to move through.
Oh, you're saving it.
I'm saving
You're
it.
saving Jack Eye?
You
I'm saving Jack Eye.
sneaky stink.
There was a reason for that, though.
You're a
Because we can move through the Bettman stuff pretty quickly. And I want to build. I want to build tension. I want to build Steve up. Cap next season. Looks like very preliminary. They're not committing to anything. $92.5 million. What is it this year? 88.5. That's right.
Thank you.
That means that we're going up another 4 or 5 million.
I thought it was 88.
Okay, it's 88.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It'll matter a lot next week.
CBA negotiations going to start in early January 2025. That's 4 months from right now.
Very soon.
We're not that far off. Actually, 3 months from now on because it's October. Shortening the preseason. According to Eric Engels of Sportsnet, Bettman didn't deny the appetite of governors to potentially shorten the preseason and expand the regular season. The point of the discussion approach to major injuries suffered by Doughty, Laine, Reinbacher, and a few others in last night's game.
Yeah, holy shit.
And
Aaron.
What's that?
Panarin.
Yeah, Panarin too.
Potentially Kachuk.
Yeah, and maybe Celebrini as well. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Looks like he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a bad thing.
I was like, don't you dare! I drafted him on my fantasy
Not
team.
the
Don't you
kid.
fucking dare. He's looked good. This week. And then Robin Leonard's situation. Basically, they haven't really given a full clear answer on that. But it would seem as though Vegas is not going to be able to shenanigans their way out of this one. They are going to have to pay.
Really seems like the whole point of taking forever with the collective bargaining agreement is so there is a black and white answer to as many things as possible. And how did Robin Leonard end up in this gray area?
Right. But if we can agree on this show that the basic idea for next year when we talk about contracts and free agency, if we can from now on just say it's going to be about $93 million.
Sure.
Can we?
Oh, for next season?
Because do you believe them now? Because I believe them. You should believe them.
They've been on
Jesse.
Okay, when it comes to salary cap,
Adam, are you emphasizing this because Steve has had a...
Steve just goes, I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
I was about to say they've been on their best behavior when it comes to the cap, and I do believe them.
And
now.
by the way, guess what? All the players got escrow returned on them too.
Wow.
So
that affects my life.
It does affect your life because it does mean that the cap's moving up. The players have paid off the debt. It's all good. We're good.
Can you forgive me for
baby?
being skeptical of the NHL?
Well, what I find hilarious about the NHL accounting is they are always about a year and a half behind where we're at. So when they calculate escrow, it's based on 18 months ago.
Ooh, that's not great for them.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Nope.
So they're like kind of done the 2022-2023 season right now in terms of accounting.
Got it.
Not last year, which is 23-24.
Good Lord.
Hilarious. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the...
That's it?
Yeah, that's all. Was there anything else? I wanted to move through it quickly.
Yeah. No, that's it.
I didn't touch any buttons. That's okay.
All right.
Now, Montreal Canadiens fans. Been a tough week. Montreal Canadiens fans were willing to come here and burn down City Hall. David Reinbacher. This started the froth. He had the surgery. I didn't even know he was up for surgery. He had the surgery 5 to 6 months.
And total fluke.
Total fluke.
The fact it was his left leg, I'm pretty sure he was hurt before Marshall Rafai even touched him. I think he caught a rut and it bent funny.
Well, that's because you're a Leafs homer. Marshall Rafai meant to kill him.
Marshall Rafai hit his right leg. So that's not the one that got hurt.
I'm refiling charges.
Whoa.
Patrick Laine.
Well,
now this built people up for Laine because there were so many reports, surgery required, a lot of fake insiders on the internet, a lot of them. And again, I got to ask, is it time to have the smart insider conversation against smart insider man conversation where anybody can buy a Twitter subscription and get a blue check mark? Anybody can claim that they are an insider and they're not. Here's the deal. If you're an insider, if you're a true insider, do you know how much money that's worth to the networks? So anybody that's claiming online that they're an insider and they're not getting paid for it is an asshole. You're an idiot. And so when you see NHL trade hockey rumor buster or whatever the Twitter account
Smart
is.
insider man. Well,
Smart
actually,
insider man.
No.
Stop listening to them.
No.
If they were a real insider, they'd be on TV making $1 million a year.
No, it says right here when Laine recovers from his surgery, he's going to be playing in an all 3-on-3 league.
There you go. So
in
my
Long
point,
Beach, California.
My point. So it was just building. You could see it building. Leaf fans are loser. I can't wait to fight. Lost all respect. Laine out 3 to 4 months with a knee sprain.
I saw 2 to 3 months.
3 to 4 was the projection I got.
Let's go with 3.
Looking like January.
Okay.
Looking like January. And these being professional athletes and basically not humans, probably sooner. Because they heal faster, they're better. It's just the reality of life. That seemed to bring the temperature down. And if you're a Leaf fan, unless you're one of the Leaf fans who are like trolls online and just fucking with them.
Oh, sorry. Unless you're like a piece of shit.
Yeah, unless you're tweeting shitty stuff.
Like,
the rhetoric was still there. It was angry, but it was like, okay, we got a game tonight. Let's watch the preseason game.
And then what happened?
Then what happened?
Holy shit.
So we'll start. And by the way, I love the Patrick Laine post that he would be back.
Love that.
Yeah, Jesse,
Smile.
Jesse,
I'll pull it up
that
so you can do it quickly.
So, and while Jesse's pulling that up, I want to talk about that. There was that a couple hours between Laine posting this and game time where Habs fans were like, okay.
Wasn't it so nice?
It was great. And you know
Everything's
what? I
gonna
was
be
happy for
fine.
them. I was happy for them. It was like, this is going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, listen, it's bad news.
Yeah.
Could have been worse.
Right.
We were expecting worse.
And I don't think Habs fans, unless you're like ardent hardcore, everything will go right, are like, we're going to the playoffs this year. So
no, but there was a hope.
there
was a hope.
Absolutely. And I understand that. So Jesse, bring it up here. First off, oh, how great is that shot?
Hooray.
So everybody listening, it's Patrick Laine in front of what's probably a private jet on his Instagram story. It
Are
says,
you sure he's not just huge?
No, it looks like a little private jet there.
Yeah.
It says, thank you everyone for the love with the heart hands emoji. 92 will be back fire emoji. And it's him on crutches, smile into the camera.
He kind of
This
looks
little
adorable.
toque.
Don't you want to hug him?
Yeah.
Good sock game.
Good sock game.
Real good sock.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. And he also
Good
would
sweater.
make, you could definitely see him as being a member of the Lumineers based on that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Maddie, how would you rate this fit?
Oh, yeah.
What are you thinking?
I would give it like 8 out of 10.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's comfortable.
All right.
That's a good plane outfit, you know? Like I would wear something like that on a plane.
comfy.
That's important. You have to talk about the context of where he's wearing the outfit. So it's an 8 out of 10 plain fit.
It's
Rehab plain fit.
gray sweatpants season. He got a yellow sweater used in Fisherman's Friends commercials. He's wearing a nice woolen cap, and he has the type of sock that would suggest he fears having a house dropped on him. Does that? Yeah. That got a giggle out of Maddie. Mission accomplished. We're
I
good.
think it's also because like he has the big brace on.
Yes,
you got to just
no,
throw on
100%.
a giant sock over whatever's going on in your foot there.
That I have thankfully never had an injury like that. I feel like putting on pants is just the most frustrating part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the fuck? Like, how did he get those pants on?
Listen, he's Patrick Laine. How did he score that goal?
Thinking about
I'm not worried about the pants.
No, imagine, Jesse, you had to put on your outfit, but with like a friggin' hockey shin guard under it every day. That would get cumbersome and annoying.
It's just not the first place my mind went.
No. Yeah, but what do you expect? It's me, right?
It's a good point.
I'm friggin' stupid.
So that beautiful moment of bliss and of hope was extinguished pretty early on when Leaf fans and Montreal Canadiens fans united once again in their hatred of Ridley Gregg. Now, if you missed it, again, this is preseason. Ridley Gregg cross-checked Kirby Dach in the face.
Are you allowed to do that?
You're not. And Kirby Dach had to leave the game, but he came back. So that's good. He came back.
When are they announcing Ridley Gregg 5 games? You're not allowed to cross-check people in the face.
Right.
I don't know what barn you were raised in.
Yeah. No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Now, then, because it's preseason and we need redemption now.
Well, he also laid the big hit
What, Ridley Gregg?
on Kirby Dach.
That's, well, yes. But let's, I mean, the hits, it's a good hit. It's a hit.
Oh, it's blindside. It's blindside. The puck's
blindside.
long gone. It's interference.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Now, that part of it, Ridley Gregg's doing what Ridley Gregg does. And I think people are awakening themselves. Oh, we have a new Marchand. Okay, I got it.
Who, Greg?
I think he's a shithead. I think he's a total
New
shithead.
Marchand. Marchand's still here.
I know, but he's next up. He's new Marchand. When Marchand broke into the league, there was the guy who was before him as top rat.
No, but like Marchand is also a star. Like maybe he's just the new Steve Ott.
Okay.
Yeah, Marchand is a very good player.
Right.
He was line mates with Bergeron and Crosby at the World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I'll give you that. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I just meant in the Ratatouille area.
Yeah,
Get a load of this schmuck.
I know. Fuck it.
Yeah, I can't
Stupid.
believe your comparison wasn't exactly what I thought it would be.
Ah,
Now,
I hope. Work on it.
Arber Xhaka,
You don't want to know what I hope.
who, to quote our good friends Mike Stevens, just needs to relax, dude. received a major and a game misconduct for this hit.
In a game that does not count or matter.
For this hit on Tim Stützle. Now, this is very clearly...
Boom.
That's a boom. He lowered the boom. Now, that is when you look at some of the replays, it looks as though it's Stützle's stick that pops himself in the head.
It is.
It is.
And that's fine. I don't really care about the headshot element of this because clearly there wasn't one.
He does not connect.
Here's what gets me. If you rewind that tape enough, Arber Xhekaj takes about 5 strides and is like, I'm going to kill you. It's not the headshot, it's the charge.
He tries to kill this person.
Yes, and he knows that Tim Stützle is smaller than him. Arber Xhekaj is fucking huge. He's 240 pounds. And with Tim Stützle, I'm just looking up his weight. I don't have that on hand right now.
Ain't 240.
It ain't.
He's at least 40 pounds lighter.
That's what I think too.
Not that that's Xhekaj's problem.
So in this screenshot here, this is the puck that is gone.
Like
is the puck. So everybody listening, it's about Stützle's
nowhere close.
Near the center ice circle. He's like a little off to the right of it. And the puck's towards the blue line.
It's going towards the Remax sign.
It's like near the boards where the player's receiving the pass. And Xhekaj's just coming.
Now
he's not looking at anything besides the head.
You could see him looking at Stützle, and Stützle doesn't see him. And let me throw this out there too. I told you Arber Xhekaj is 240 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Tim Stützle is 43 pounds less. 43 pounds less. Now, they're on the same ice surface.
There you go.
This is this is in the NHL.
He's allowed to be legally hit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's allowed to be legally hit.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Anybody that's saying this is not a headshot, yes, you're technically right, but let's talk about being disingenuous for a second. That's a target, and Tim Stützle is the ultimate diver, and I will say it till I'm blue in the face, but that ain't a dive, man. He got killed, and that is the textbook definition of a charge. Now, it's come out this morning.
And he leaps into it like Superman.
It's 12:37 right now, as of this, right now as in this recording. We don't have official word from NHL player safety, but Sarah Volley this morning was reporting that it's likely nothing will happen.
Yeah.
I thought at best, I'm like, player safety is just going to hold him out for the rest of the preseason.
He's been kicked out of back-to-back games for retaliatory plays.
He might not even get fined for this.
It's psychotic. And the Department of Player Safety, I already did my big rant last show. We should all be so shocked that the Department of Player Safety wasn't completely reformed when this past August they made a new hire who was George Parros' friend and former teammate Ryan Getzlaf. It just made the echo chamber stronger. It's like, you ever see those videos where people walk into a room that's all styrofoam and it's the quietest room in the world and you can hear your own heartbeat and the blood pump through your veins, and if you spend 10 minutes in there, you'll lose your mind. Every day, George Parros walks into an office like that, except instead of hearing nothing, he hears, "You're right, George. You're right, George. Absolutely, George. You're absolutely right." And that's all we get is the George Parros echo chamber. And I talked about how Xhekaj going after Paré, glove on, beating the dog shit out of him, does not follow precedence at all. You can't do that. You've never been allowed to do that. That's never just been a fine. What the fuck are you talking about? But they are following a precedent here with Tim Stützle. And this is why last year I advocated for this. I'm going to continue advocating for this going forward to save players' lives. Pretend you're dead. Lie on the ice, pretend you're dead, call for the stretcher, take acting classes, do whatever you got to do. Because the precedent is the Department of Player Safety are ambulance chasers. This is what they do. If you're hurt, if Tim Stützle was hurt,
there would be something.
Xhekaj wouldn't be starting the regular season. But he got up. His big mistake was getting up.
Now, Steve.
Yeah.
In the comment section, I can't wait for people to say how stupid you are. And what I want to remind you.
That's not something new.
I know. It's a bit, guys. It's a bit. Go with me on this.
No,
okay?
I was also joking.
Yeah, okay,
the fact I didn't play hockey growing up never seems to come up when I make thousands and thousands of hours of content that everyone loves. It only comes up when they disagree with me on a bad hit.
So, Steve,
It's interesting.
Jesse, what's your degree in?
Radio and television arts with a minor in English.
My degree is in nothing because I didn't fucking finish. Steve, what's your degree in?
Radio and television arts with a minor in English.
Do you know what George Peros' degree is?
Toughness.
I don't give a fuck.
Economics at Princeton.
Damn.
Who the hell are you?
That's crazy. And also, he used to read on planes.
Damn. Did he
When
go to
he
any
was in the
museums?
NHL, oh man, these college educated guys, like hockey players got to really hear themselves sometimes, dude. Like, man, he used to read on the plane. What an egghead. Get other friends. Are you serious? Get friends who aren't hockey players. Holy fuck.
One of the things they used to tell us in radio was you'll spend a lot of time working. Try to have friends outside of radio because you'll forget what it's like for normal people. Like, because radio's not a normal job. It's not. You're yakking all day. Like nobody does that. Try to have some friends outside. And I would encourage
Get other friends.
I would encourage hockey people to do that. There are so many hockey people, like my only friends are in the industry. I'm like, dude, you gotta there are people out there living normal lives.
Yeah.
You gotta be friends with people that don't do this.
It also humbles you real quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You talk about your hard day at work and your buddy who's on the construction site. It's like, yeah, I fell into a ditch and busted my fucking chin open.
You have people that are
Broke my ankle.
and police and all
with
that.
the jack eye hit, not to get too far away from it.
Yeah, sorry.
The discussion around him not getting any kind of discipline, not a fine, not a suspension, a lot of it stemmed from Stützle's own stick. It was the main point of contact with his own head.
And where did his stick come from? Did it fall out of the
fair,
sky?
but if you look at it on the screen right now, it's in the bottom right corner. It's Stützle's stick that hits his head, but Jack Eye is the one who hits him that hits the stick in his head, and it's
what
Jack
propelled
Eye's
the stick?
It's Jack Eye's shoulder squishing the stick to Stützle's head.
Now you could just call that an accident.
But is it not an accident because of the evidence of the many seconds before that, as Adam pointed out, where this is clearly charging and him strolling into a hit that he leaps into?
This is I didn't
getting
understand
that argument
all morning, and it's completely bad faith nonsense, so I ignore it. Where's the head contact? You're allowed to be suspended for things that aren't head
Charging.
contact. It's charging and interference. It's both of those things objectively, and the refs felt that way, and they kicked him out of the game. Now, this is usually where a league would step in and be like, "Okay, let's turn the temperature down a little bit because you tried to kill a guy last game and you tried to kill a guy this game. You got kicked out of 2 games that don't matter." And the NHL, we know this from the emails that we found in court documents from Colin Campbell, sells hate.
Yeah.
Sells violence.
Rivalry.
And October 9th is going to be fireworks because no one's going to do anything about this person. And someone's going to get fucking hurt. And it is what it is. They're ambulance.
Well, I mean, listen,
and then,
people did get hurt last night.
And then Peros and the Department of Player Safety and everyone get to, get out their fainting couch and go, my goodness, where did this come from? This brutish behavior. It came from you and your kangaroo court, to borrow a term from a dear friend. And your wheel of justice and your shitty friends that help you with your shitty decisions.
Two things on that. One, I picked up Jack Eye in fantasy because fantasy in my league is PIMs are a positive stat.
Oh, good Lord.
So you want to collect penalty minutes. So I assume on the first night of hockey, I'm going to get a whole bunch for that.
Yeah,
week.
you are.
Brady
It's gonna be
Tkachuk
awesome.
would be such a good pick in that league if he's not hurt.
In our auction league, he usually goes for like the 3rd most amount of money. It'll be like McDavid, Austin, and then Brady because he collects all of the stats. It's awesome.
He is the most video game hockey player in the world.
Yeah. And then
shots, hits, goals, fights, everything.
And then second thing is the NHL's, is there no responsibility to punish targeting? Because but they've consistently done this in the past where, hey, somebody's done something on the ice and then the guy who, we talked about this last episode, where the guy who comes back and does the retribution thing goes too far and they suspend him. And in here, If the puck is along the boards when Jack-Eye lays the hit,
It's hilarious.
he's not making the hockey play. He's going after something outside of the game of hockey to punish somebody for something he was upset. Is that not punishable? Like, I don't understand their rules anymore about these things.
Last year during the playoffs, Jacob Trouba tried to put Marty Necas in a casket.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he tried to do. Did he succeed? No.
He dove headfirst into the boards like Superman.
No, he wrecked his shit so bad.
It was a great
I
spill.
forgot about that.
Great screen grab, yeah.
Dude.
It was like Bobby Orr, but the boards.
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't end his own career.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
And the league looked at that and they went, he didn't hit him though. And we all moved on with our lives.
Attempted murder is a charge in real life.
Nah.
Now,
No. If I take a gun out right now and shoot at Jesse and it hits the wall instead and
punishment.
Jesse's fine, and we just keep recording the show, like that is the equivalent of the NHL. You go, Steve, what the fuck? I go, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I don't know. Where's Ridley Gregg's role of responsibility in all this?
So, Steve, you do that to me. You shoot me, you miss. You are George Peros.
Mm-hmm.
What does he say to that footage that you showed him of you missing me, trying to shoot me in the head? What was George Peros say?
For the record, this is drywall. It is easily replaceable. Jesse received no injury on the play. Steve Dangle's bullet made no contact. The Department of Player Safety has banned Steve Dangle for 0 games and gave him a pat on the back.
That's about their response.
I used to read books on planes. Like
Because
it's
your
terrible.
attack failed, there's no punishment? That makes no sense.
It's really dumb and really shitty. And Jamie Benn won playoffs, got a fine. And the very next game, he came back and did something else and got a fine.
Yeah.
And Jack-Eye, glove on, beat the dog piss and shit out of someone and got a fine. And the next game, he tried to brain one of the league's premier young players and got less than that.
By the way, the amount of people that don't know that you can hit harder with a glove on versus glove off was shocking to me. Like
all of those people drive, all of those people vote.
That's crazy.
All of those
I couldn't
people,
believe
it's
that.
terrifying. It's
People were
fucking
like,
terrifying.
"What are you talking about? You could hit harder with a glove. Clearly, you can hit harder with just a bare fist." I'm like, "Well, you've clearly
You're
never
a
hit
psycho.
anyone.
You're a psycho.
You've never hit anyone.
You're a psycho, ignorable
Also,
psycho.
I want to add too, when we missed this one, is that Ridley Gregg, Michael Pezzetta went right after him. And
Yeah, he
was
should
like-
have.
And Ridley Gregg was like, "Nah, I'm not going to fight you,"
Which is chicken shit.
which is what Ridley Gregg does.
And a good business decision.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, what I did find funny about the Paré stuff is people were like, why didn't he fight Arber Jack-Eye? Because he's not a fucking idiot? Like, what are you talking about? There's like 5 guys in the league who should be fighting Arber Jack-Eye. What
Yeah.
are you talking about? So I
a
don't...
weight class issue there.
So is it cowardly? Yes, but it's also good in the way
Pezzetta's
of
not that big.
self-preservation.
Pezzetta's not that big.
Yeah, but he's nuts. He's nuts, though.
Greg was gonna get his
He
ass
fought
kicked.
Ryan Reeves twice last year.
Yeah,
he's
crazy.
nuts.
What's that, Jess?
No, he was going to get his ass kicked, and he
Yeah.
made the right decision.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Pezzetta would have beat the brakes off Ridley Gregg.
Yeah.
I saw Habs fans defending Morgan Riley last night. I'm not kidding. They're like, you know what? I actually saw a Habs account go, Morgan Riley did the right thing. Like,
Wow.
just nuts.
So
Nuts.
the Atlantic spicy, eh?
Oh, baby, is it ever. We've
Habs
only
fans
talked
are
about the
having
Atlantic.
one hell of a training camp.
Oh my good lord.
By the way, Matt Rempe yesterday, again against the Devils, just fucking crushed a guy.
what did he
No.
do?
Have you seen
There's
this?
too much to keep up.
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the replay. And it actually. So here's the question with this Rempe hit: is it that he's tall, or is it a
love hockey.
headshot?
Oh, I know. Yeah, but it's the responsibility is on the person laying the hit.
No, according to NHL players, you need to brace yourself. You need to be ready for the hit that you can't possibly see.
It's so fucking dumb.
It's
I
dumb.
can't show this, but Steve, you can watch it.
Okay,
You haven't
let me
seen it.
watch it.
All right. If you want to describe to the people.
You can also
watch
show
it.
the screen grab.
Yeah, but I got to let him watch it first.
Yeah.
Okay, Rempe is chasing the puck down, and so is the devil. Oh my fucking god! Holy shit!
So Steve's
It's
seen
a
it.
big hit.
Wait.
Here's the fucking
Where's the point of contact?
giant collision.
That's a difficult one. I need to see a closer
By the
angle.
way, Rempe is the big guy in blue on that one. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, thanks. He oh my God, that poor human being. I don't know who that is, but they get him. It looks to me, dude, Rempe's like hitting him with his hip into the player's shoulder. And the elbow, which is above the hip, hits him in the head. I don't know how Matt Rempe is supposed to legally hit anyone.
That's why he's the cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
To who? Awesome. He gets kicked out of every game, though. Refs are, and we saw this last year with a certain incident. I can't remember which team it was against. They're looking for it. Mm-hmm. They're dying to throw Rempe in the box and out of the game in every instance.
Yeah. But I don't think they did here.
Wow. Who's the player? Who's on the receiving end?
I didn't catch that part.
I don't think he caught.
No, it's too low quality to see the number on the jersey there.
Oh my!
Just insert New Jersey Devil, and Matt Rempe's probably killed them. Like all this shit.
He's throwing another.
All the shit with Matt Rempe last year started against the Devils.
Dude, he's so
his
fun.
career was launched by the Devils.
He's so fun. Oh my God! Yeah, and then he beat the brakes off Jonas Siegenthaler for some reason.
Yeah. Now. I did want to say that
before you go away from Matt Rempe, best Matt Rempe video that came out last night is him doing the hot to go dance.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Better than his hit.
I also want to say that the Senators did score 3 times on the Arber Jacki major.
Oh, wow.
And took it from 2-0 to 3-2. So,
damn, that's a preseason game.
Yeah, exactly. I did want to mention it in case some Montreal fans got in my shit about, or sorry, Sens fans got in my shit about not mentioning it. No one cares about the score in the preseason. But
no,
the goals didn't matter.
No, yeah, that the comeback in the Sharks Vegas series from a few years ago. These are the same.
These are the same. Jesse.
Yeah.
I want to show you guys something that I think is chicken shit.
Okay.
And I hit this. If you can't get rid of charging and headshots in the NHL, this is an easy one. And I think all of us can agree on this. And this is Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks. So anybody watching San Jose games, and by the way, Sharks fans, I hope that he's okay. Now, I want you to see what the defenseman does right after Celebrini shoots on this goalie. He goes in for a fast break.
Stenlund.
You need the
Kevin
different angle.
Stenlund,
So it's Stenlund, different angle. There's another angle on it. Now you'll see it here. Watch where you could pause it right there.
No, hold on. I want to see it. Yeah. Okay. So you want
I see this in the NHL all the time. Celebrini's in a very difficult spot here because Stenlund, yes, he has one hand on the stick, but you have to remember these are NHL players and they're strong. Celebrini has 1.5 skates on the ice here. If you notice his front leg is popped, all you have to do to put him off balance is give his skate a whack, which is what Stenlund does. Watch what happens when he does. Boom.
Yeah.
Over. This is chicken shit.
Going full speed
into the board.
either into his goalie or the boards. And it's great. If he goes into his goalie, he has full license to beat the shit out of him.
And people were like, well, he caught an edge. Why did he catch an edge?
Oh, stop.
Celebrini's a really good skater. Why did he catch an edge? Because Stenlund whacked him. That shit is so fucking dangerous. We gotta stop. Gotta stop.
I'm gonna
describe it for audio.
No. Yeah. So Celebrini is
on a breakaway.
He's skating in on a breakaway. He has defenders tailing him. Stenlund. I thought this was the Kings. It's Utah. Boy, their road jerseys are just hideous. And Stenlund gets his stick kind of along the outside of Celebrini's left toe while that blade is off the ice. Now, if a player does this on purpose, Adam, I'm with you, throw the book at him. If you kind of look at Stenlund's eye line, he's looking at where the puck is going and not Celebrini, and definitely not his feet.
I don't
think he meant to do this.
I don't think
irresponsible for sure.
Does it matter? Hey, listen.
And
if I high stick you and I didn't mean to, does it matter?
No, it's a penalty.
It's on the player with the stick. Yeah. That's how the rule is written.
Did he get a penalty for this?
No.
Okay, well, to me, it's 2 for tripping.
I think that this is the thing. If I want NHL player safety to look at anything, okay, you want to make things more violent, you want to make hits bigger, you want to bring fights back. I get it, George. That's how you got into the NHL. I get it. Now, as somebody who was probably never on a breakaway in the NHL, you probably can't relate to Macklin Celebrini.
That is not true. I saw him score a breakaway goal.
Well, there you go.
In person.
This shit from behind, and I'm not saying Stenlin's a dirty player. I'm not saying anything like that. It's endemic in the NHL. You see this all the time, and those guys go flying into the boards. You can't have it, even if it's by mistake. You can't have it. Sorry, you can't. That is where
How do you get this out of the game?
you give him a penalty.
Can I provide a defense?
Yeah, it should have been a 2-minute penalty.
Can I provide a defense of Stenlund?
Okay.
Sure, a defense of the defenseman.
A defense of the defenseman, because he's coming in.
He's a center, damn it.
Celebrate.
Sorry, it's bothering me.
Yeah. Defense of the defenseman. Celebrini's coming in, and Stenlund, he hits him initially up top. He hits him on like the thigh of the left side. And Celebrini's really quick. And is it just that he hits him on the thigh and then his stick goes down after the hit and it's just unfortunate timing?
Yes. Because I think Celebrini doesn't catch the edge if his stick isn't there, guys.
No, I think, yes, that's true, but I don't think Stenlund purposely had his stick there at the skate. I think he might have just slapped him on the thigh, and then you slap him on the thigh and you didn't hold this stick up in midair. It came down on the ground, but Celebrini is so fast that he comes skating in and he knocks the stick.
And I do want to pick our spots here. George deserves to be criticized often enough. This is officiating.
Hold on. Yeah, okay, but hold on. Keep going.
You know, this is the defense I'm trying to make
going.
that he slaps him here and then the stick kind of just falls to the ground and then Celebrini goes over it.
Look at his front, look at his lead, go forward one screenshot. You see? Go again. Go a little bit further if you can.
See, I think he might catch an edge.
But why did he catch the edge?
You're saying,
of course, he caught an edge.
His foot's up because he's taking a shot.
I don't think this is like.
Oh, I think
this is very gray.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's black and white.
Okay, well, that's great. So
based on the footage we got,
here's the thing with the gray area, though. If it ends with the player slamming into the boards, it's not a gray area.
No, but what if he caught an edge?
That's interference, man. You can't do that.
What if he caught an edge?
No, it's 2 minutes for tripping.
Yeah.
It's 2 minutes for tripping.
Should be more than that. I think it's dangerous.
I mean, if you can prove intent, yeah, absolutely. But like,
how can you prove?
He hits him on the leg and his stick falls to the ice.
Yeah, and then Celebrini trips over it, so it's tripping.
I'm gonna be
we have penalty for that.
When I see these this year, I'm bringing them up.
Okay,
every time.
Sure,
I'm bringing them to the show.
When it happens,
you're gonna have a tripping from behind on a breakaway jar for me.
When it happens to Mitch or Willie, I'll lose my mind.
Okay, great. I think that sounds fair. Okay, moving on. Ben Danford was sent down by the Toronto Maple Leafs, which kind of makes sense.
Schwallywood.
Also, there wasn't really a chance that he was going to make the team. And beyond that, it seems like concussion over camp. It happens.
And it's nothing too serious.
I wanted to know if you guys want to see, because they did pictures.
Yes.
So we have Craig Berube's picture with the Toronto Maple Leafs for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I've just sent it through to Jesse. Now, I've told you already that my wife was like, hey, well, which one's Craig Berube? I'm like, look for the scariest guy on the ice.
The guy who looks like Sam the Eagle.
Sam the Eagle from the Muppets. Exactly. This is Craig Berube's shot.
Holy fuck. Maddie just goes, Jesus.
Is that not the scariest head coach in Leafs history?
I'm sorry.
You could never look that scary. You can't. Steve, you can't. He is resting. I'm going to fuck you up face. Like he really does. Look at that. Jesse, are you
resting? You're going to need a stitch face.
It's a very nice suit and tie.
It is. It's clean.
Like that jacket's beautiful.
Do you think that's a button-down collar, or do you think that's just a really finely done collar? Like sometimes they have button-down collars, and so
I don't know.
I
don't know that much about suits. I just think this one's very nice.
I think he puts the tie around his neck like Brian Burke, and then he just looks at it in the mirror and goes, "Knock it off!" and it ties itself up. 100%.
Looks like a silk tie.
Yeah,
that dude's terrifying.
Blue.
Yep. I just thought you guys would want to just see that.
Imagine disappointing that face.
Oh God.
Oh
God.
No, thank you.
Anyway, that's Craig Berube for you, looking scary as hell. Something else that's interesting, and it's news out of Anaheim, and it went under the radar because we've had Swayman and we've had Montreal fighting the whole league, Rock'em Sock'em Robot style, right?
And the whole league deserved it.
They did. Ilya Lyubushkin, Boosh. He's playing in Dallas this year.
He is, notably.
And Boosh, when he was with the Leafs left the Leafs because the Ducks said, here's way too much money.
Wasn't it Buffalo?
Oh, it was Buffalo, and then they traded him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Buffalo said, here's way too much money. We suck. Let me trade you to a team that's worse. And so Bush was under former Leafs assistant coach Greg Cronin. Greg Cronin was an assistant coach with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Randy Carlyle era.
Mm-hmm.
And notably, Greg Cronin has found himself in a lot of situations where the team is not good. If you look at Greg Cronin's history, he was the assistant coach of the Leafs when they were bad. And then he was like, I'm leaving the Leafs and I'm going to the Islanders when they were bad, and is now with the Ducks, and they are
ungood.
Yeah. So is that his fault? Probably not. Those teams were not well built, and neither is this one. But here's what Bush had to say. He said, I liked the group of guys in the locker room, but I didn't like that we were constantly losing. But of course, I was self-critical with myself. It wasn't just because we weren't winning. There was a combination of factors. The coach, Greg Cronin, was very tough, and the psychological atmosphere within the team was very difficult. It wasn't that I wanted to quit hockey at that moment, but I did catch myself thinking, am I already tired of hockey?
Ooh.
And then he said, it weighed heavily on me, but when I moved to Toronto, it all just disappeared, like it evaporated.
That's weird because Toronto's the hardest market.
That situation came from constantly
Why are you
losing.
laughing?
Even though the coach was a good guy, he always put enormous psychological pressure on the players. We had a schedule where we would come in, warm up, sit in a meeting for an hour, only then to hit the ice. I always thought, why are we warming up now? Like, let's do the hour-long meeting and then warm up. No, it can't be that way. Then after 2 months, they changed it, agreeing, okay, we'll do it your way. But you'd come to these meetings and you'd sit there for 40 minutes listening to things unrelated to hockey. Then finally, we'd start watching video. By then, you've already been sitting for 40 minutes listening to random stories. It was just exhausting. He's a good coach and a good person, but this was his approach. You'd walk in the locker room and see the other guys with the same expressions on their faces. It was hard to find any motivation to go out and train. And it wasn't just about struggling to find motivation. You actually didn't want to do it.
Wow.
That's an indictment.
Every summer, and I'm glad Bush finally, he broke the streak, because every summer, someone, usually a Russian, goes home and speaks their truth and decides to go, you know what, this guy is an asshole, or something. Some sort of spicy thing. That's like one of the most Russian quotes I've ever heard. He's a good person, good guy, like him, hate everything about him.
Oh, hate everything about his style.
Hate everything about his style and everything he does. Great guy.
That sounds like working for a big corporation. Like we're gonna come in, we're gonna piss away a bunch of times on this Zoom meeting, and you're gonna be in meetings all day.
You know what though? Like Ilya Lyubushkin, like that's a tale as old as time. A player plays in the hockey hotbed of Anaheim, insane pressure, right? Every day. They're like, we need to go 82-0. And then you go to Toronto, and it's like the veil just lifts, right? All of a sudden, you're
real
free.
NHL.
The pressure's off. Yeah, you go to the real NHL in Toronto, and the pressure's off, and you just don't have to worry anymore. Sorry, that was my main takeaway from that. Is Greg Cronin a bad NHL coach?
Well, Bush said he's not.
Or does losing all the time just suck ass? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of these feelings where players are like, you know what? I just started to hate hockey. Nah, I think you hated losing. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you guys though something? What is possibly to be gained? If Lyubushkin is to be believed, and I don't see why he shouldn't be, what could you possibly gain by sitting those players down for an hour before morning skate, after they've warmed up, and then they go get dressed and start practicing?
It's really dumb.
Listen, I think we all need to be reasonable about the Ducks' chances last year and this year. They're not great. So what do you need to do? You're going to win games on good structure and vibes. You need good vibes. Hammering down on a team that will get hammered by their opponent every time, unless they've been like Dallas Eakins Ducks, which is the worst NHL team I've ever seen. Like, I think I was not old enough to watch the early 90s Ottawa Senators, who only won 10 games.
14-15 Leafs.
14-15 Leafs were bad, but that Ducks team was not bad. They were depressing under Eakins. Cronin's supposed to come in and bring it all back together. Well, they don't have the talent.
That organization doesn't think, like, just from the outside, that organization doesn't think their players have the right mindset at all. And that's what they're trying to do, I think, with those 40-minute, like it has nothing to do with hockey. So like, what are they going through? News? Are they looking at videos from woo peddlers? You know, just those people who are trying to motivate you with word of the day calendar bullshit. Like one question that I've never really gotten a satisfactory answer to: why is Trevor Zegras' name always in trade rumors?
I don't know.
He's young and skilled, and you drafted him very high, and also you stink. And they're going to trade Trevor Zegras for who? Trevor Zegras? Isn't he the exact sort of player who they kind of need? Mm-hmm. But he's this like happy-go-lucky, kind of aloof, guy. Like, I wonder if they're just trying to beat that out of the team. Like, I wonder if that's why a guy like Sonny Milano isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. Sonny Milano, who did perfectly fine with the Washington Capitals last year, but already you got Spencer Carberry, his new coach in Washington, going, yeah, he's just been okay, right? He's got to raise the level of his game. This team, I think, does stuff like that because they hate the mindset of the players they have, especially the young ones. That's just my guess.
Okay. Now, Pat Verbeek, who has been the general manager there, and strangely enough, the when he started February 3rd, 2022, that's when you started just to hear the Zegras trade rumors, right? At that time, I believe Zegras was the cover of NHL 22, was he not?
Last year was Makar.
Wasn't it Sarah Nurse?
I think it was him and Nurse the year before.
Yeah. So like he was. So I don't know. I look at this and I go, I think you're absolutely right. I think they want him out. I think they've been trying. And I'm trying to figure out because, they
just made Radko Gudas their captain. Like they loudly and clearly said, this is the type of player we want leading this team.
So is this the season, or do we wait another year where Pat Verbeek, you start to ask, what's the long-term direction here? What are we trying to do? I need to see something take shape. You said earlier this year, and Canadians fans got on you for it, you need to see the Habs take a step forward. And I'm going to pose this question to both of you here. When do we need to see the Ducks take a step forward?
Dude, they're right in that range. They're right in that range. Like, it doesn't even necessarily mean you need to finish higher in the standings. It's just got to be better to watch you. You know what I mean? Like, someone has to finish last every year. Someone has to finish in the bottom 10. Mm-hmm. And if I got up here and I was like, the Ducks need to make the playoffs, you'd look at me sideways and what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. They could finish the exact same spot in the standings as they did last year and still take a step. That's actually a reasonable expectation for this team.
Can you guess the last time the Ducks finished higher than 6th in their division?
2017.
You're right, 18.
Bang! Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're a little off.
Yeah, I was a little off.
Yeah. 17, 18. Yeah, you're a little off. That is 7 seasons, guys.
That's a long time, man.
The highest they finished this, it was 6th, 6th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 7th. And the reason they were 7th last year is because they're in the same division as the Sharks.
As the Sharks, who might lap them this year.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any pressure on the Ducks to do anything this season.
No?
I think you look at the roster, they're still trying to suck.
Yeah.
I don't... clear. You got to be... The words that almost left my mouth were, you got to be better at hockey. Like, Adam was right. Like, they've been depressing to watch. Mm-hmm. Every year someone finishes last. Mm-hmm. But, you don't have to be an easy out. You don't have to, you go down 2 goals and the game's over. And you visibly give up.
I think if they were as depressing as last year this season, it'd be fine. I think there's still so much roster building that needs to be done here that if you were to just be horrendous and get a number 1 overall pick in next year's draft, that's a good season.
Well, you get the first overall pick. I mean, everyone's mood changes a little bit.
I don't think there's any pressure to take any sort of step here in Anaheim.
That's
depressing. I wonder if there's when is there going to be, because the Samuelis that still own the team, if they're not good, they're not going to spend to the cap. At what point? Smaller market team, Samuelis don't like burning money. Who does? At what point do they go and they call Pat Verbeek and go, okay, Pat,
you kind of stink.
Can we do 6th? Can we do 5th the year after? Can we do 4th? What's the path to the playoffs? And I think it's the conversation that the Illich family had with the Yzerman administration, which was, we haven't made the playoffs since Babcock left, guys. So we got this beautiful new arena. It's never seen a playoff game. When are you going to start doing stuff? And to me, that explains why the Red Wings made so many goofy moves in the summer of 2023 and continue to make goofy moves into this summer. I think the management or ownership was like, I don't really care. Get to the fucking playoffs, guys.
Yeah.
I think that's a good example because you look at the Red Wings and you're like, yeah, you should take a step here. You should make the playoffs. But I don't look at the Ducks and think the same thing. You know, I think that about the Sabres. I think that about the Red Wings. I think about the Sens in the same way. It's like, hey, you guys take a step now. It's been take a step a year for a couple of years. The Ducks, I'm like, it's not take a step year. It's go suck year. You know, you never want to do what you're talking about, where everything is depressing and it's not fun to go to the rink every day. But even if that's the case, I forgive them.
Now, sort of contradicting what I just said. If we had to put bets down right now, looking around the league, like we've done season previews for all but 4 teams at the time we're recording this.
Sure.
We got to put money on who's going to finish last.
My money's on the Ducks.
In the NHL?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like maybe this is maybe you know, all things equal. Yeah, based on what the Ducks have done in recent memory, you would like them to take a step and get better. Looking around the league, there's no reason to think they're passing anyone.
No, it's a hard league.
So
They won 27 games last year.
So maybe, like, can you finish last with 30?
32?
You know?
You're calling that a step? Like,
It's something.
And they might almost trade John Gibson again.
Oh, my good Lord.
all right. If you're considering 27 wins to 30 wins a step, then I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
So,
if I'm a Ducks fan, I'd like them to, like, show some fight. But looking around the league, this might be their opportunity to bottom out.
Yeah. And then Cronin, when they're good, Cronin won't be there. I'll put money on that.
Probably true.
He's the steward.
We've all been through this with teams who are going through rebuilds. There's always the coach who's like, hey, I'm here for the rebuild. We're going to build them back. He's never there when they're good. The Cronin's not the guy long term.
No,
I felt bad for Peter Horacek with the Leafs because I don't think he knew he was that.
No.
And then he very quickly went, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm grocery stick.
Yeah.
Did Peter Horacek ever like get an office? Like, did he ever get his name on a door?
That's
like, did MLSE ever give that to him? No.
They gave him a tracksuit because he always used to do press conferences in his tracksuit.
He was transient,
But,
you know. We all knew he was coming here. He wasn't going to be the guy to lead Austin Matthews to the Stanley Cup final
It's
and
just-
nothing like that.
Hey, thanks
Just
for your
a
time.
marker
Enjoy
board?
scouting in Florida.
yeah.
Marker board on a closet, and it's like hung unevenly, and it says Peter Horacek, and it's spelled wrong. Oh my God.
Yeah, they moved the stock room. They moved the boxes in the back a little and said, yeah, this is your room. We're definitely not saving that big one for Mike Babcock or anything.
Peeter. Just, oh dear.
Now, second to last is going to be the race I'm following in the NHL this year because I really don't know who it's going to be. I just wanted to put this photo up, Jess, of the Columbus Blue Jackets showing up for Noah Gaudreau, who was 2 years old, had a birthday party, and the Blue Jackets all came to support and be there for the birthday party. Now, is there a chance that Noah Gaudreau remembers their second birthday party? Probably not.
See the pictures.
But they'll see the pictures and they'll know how much you know her dad was loved, and I think that is I think that's a win right there. The Blue Jackets have done such an amazing job in the wake of this as a team. And, these things galvanize people, right? Sometimes it's what brings people together. And I just think that they have handled this so well. And what a horrible situation to be handed. And what an A+ job they've all done.
I hope they win games. Like no one deserves what anyone in this photo is going through.
Yep.
I hope they win games.
And we received word on the question that you had, Steve, about the cap. Remember, you were talking about, hey,
Yeah.
are they gonna give them some leniency with the cap? And they are. So the NHL is not going to require that the Blue Jackets be cap compliant come the start of the season. They can do it whatever
within a reasonable amount of time.
They can get cap compliant when they're going to get cap compliant. And Don Waddell's working on some sort of deals to bring in a veteran forward. So they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out when they can figure it out, which is the right way to do this.
The reasonable human way of going about it.
Absolutely. And that's why your rules aren't black and white.
Yeah.
Never are.
And you know what? I think this is a good time to do the press conference, don't you?
I always do.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Question number 1. What do you guys think of the hit? You guys should have a discussion about the hit.
Which hit? I thought everybody's
Oh, you know the hit.
fine. There was no hit.
Nobody's fine.
Jacka didn't even touch him, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing wrong with anything that happened. All right, so we were at our St. Catharines event, what was it, 2 weekends ago now? And we met somebody there by the name of Laine Ruska. H-R-U-S-K-A. Huska or Ruska?
This is on you.
Which one's silent?
I'm not going to help
The
you.
H or the R?
I'm going to let
Okay.
you flap in the wind.
I'm going to go with Laine Huska.
There you go. You've committed to the
Laine,
bit.
during the show, was doodling on a little tablet, assume an iPad. And Laine drew a picture of us in studio hanging out. And we thought we would show it to the world because they sent it in. And we have it now, the completed drawing. And this is it.
This is absolutely absurdly great.
I love that I'm slightly off screen too, because I always am. I never
Adam is wearing
close enough to Steve.
it's us in the studio. Adam is wearing a Gripper Nation shirt, and up, just peeking up from under the desk, is a shockingly accurate picture of your feet.
Yes.
Those are, I recognize those little piggies anywhere, right? And then there's me dressed up like Arthur Morgan in his full summer gunslinger outfit with the blue button-up shirt and the black bandana that he uses for nefarious deeds. And I believe I'm holding a cattleman revolver. And then there's our favorite GM, Jesse Blake,
Let's go.
with the Stanley Cup above his head as the Stanley Cup winning GM that he is. I love this picture with all my heart, and I think we should put it up in our office.
Yeah, so we're gonna print this out and frame it and put it up in the offices. Thank you so much for doing this and sending it in. It is incredible. And what I want us to do is, Maddie, I want you to have the 3-cam ready. And I want you to go back and forth from the drawing to us, and we're gonna get in position, and then you're gonna reveal us doing our poses.
There.
So take us off camera. We're gonna get in position. Adam, are you ready? Steve, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, and let's see how accurate this is.
Foot up.
Was it good? Matt, the mic's up. What do you think?
Wait, one more time. It's pretty good. Adam, maybe put your foot a little closer, not
Ew!
Steve's
Get
coffee
that
cup.
fucking away from Ew!
Get back in position. Pretty good? Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey.
Get it away! Get it away! Ew! Ew!
All right.
Did it?
By the way, should we mention that Gripper Nation returns, and so do your streams? We haven't said that yet.
Oh no, we haven't.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, I'll just quickly say, and we'll say it at the beginning of all the episodes, so you'll get tired of hearing it right off the top. But Steve is going to do a bunch of Saturday night streams this year. Most of them. So that's
Woo! Shut
good.
up!
And
Everyone, stop coughing!
I
You
have
too.
decided. So Steve's going to be doing Leaf games.
you guys should drink your AG1.
We should. And I'm going to be doing Monday night. So that doesn't always mean Leaf games. It will sometimes mean Leaf games. It will sometimes mean other things. And I believe the first Monday is in a week and a half. And we're going to be doing the Penguins and Canadians game. So I get to talk about Kyle Dubas for 3 hours. Can you imagine?
Love that. And Arber Jacki.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I get to see the Arber Jacki Monday night game. I mean, you know what? There's no guarantees he's going to be playing. I'm sure player safety will step in and say, Arber.
How many games they got left? There's still time for him to get suspended.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, just throwing that out there. Very, very excited to be doing streams this year. And it's going to be all season long. And of course, in the playoffs, Steve will have, hopefully, the Leafs. but insert Eastern Conference team here, and I will have insert Western Conference team here, likely the Oilers, assuming they make it. I think they will.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to end today with another edition of NHL Car Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a Leaf And if you'll notice on the comments of this photo of Timothy Liljegren, we have taken over NHL player Instagrams. Thank you everybody out there on Instagram who has been tagging us in these NHL player photos. We'll get to all of them, but we're doing a quick one today with Liljegren at Mississauga, or Lakeshore at Mississauga Road. Chevrolet? What is it? What is Peel Chrysler? Peel Chrysler Jeep Ram dealership. That's where Timothy Liljegren is today. This one, I'm right away off the bat, 1 tire out of 5 tires.
Why? Can't see
the vehicle.
Yeah.
Can't see your darn vehicle. Timothy, this isn't how I like my NHL car watch. I want to see the car plus you in your most hockey player bro pose, plus maybe the guy who sold you the car, who's in this one. But in this photo, for everybody listening, it's Liljegren in front of the car, blocking it out with the guy from Peel Chrysler Jeep Ram, holding up a Liljegren jersey that's signed.
And
we need to see the car.
First off, I just want to say Timothy is going to grow into that look when he's about 45. He's got the I'm 20 years older look.
It's hard to see Ron Hainsey coming, but like
Ron Hainsey will get you.
That guy's the Swedishness hides it, the age hides it. That's future Ron Hainsey right there.
I like
100%. Except he actually shoots right. I'm not as big a hater as Jesse. I'm gonna give him a 2 out of 5, but because I can't hate on a guy getting free stuff. Like I'm really happy for the guy at the dealership getting the free Liljegren jersey. But you're right. There is no car to watch. There is just part of a bumper and 4 tires, and that's actually I can only see 3 of the tires.
We know what kind of car Lily got because it says in the caption, thrilled to pick up a Jeep Grand Cherokee Hybrid 4XE from Peel Chrysler Jeep Ram. So we know what car it is behind him, but I'd like to see a picture of the car.
I would too.
Because that's what NHL Car Watch is about.
Yes.
Adam, what are you giving him out of 5?
I'm in agreement with you, Jesse. I think it's 1.5, 1 maybe. I got to see the car. Yeah. I got to see how cool the car is. You got to give me the car. Seeing Timothy and whoever the sales manager is there. Listen, nobody beats a deal from Peel. All right,
it's a fantastic tagline. 10 out of 10 on the 5 tires out of 5 on the tagline.
Yes.
But
yeah,
I got to see it. So it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee hybrid. I'd love to what if I want one?
I would also like to point out that Liljegren jersey is the brand new Fanatics jersey.
Oh,
Timothy, I haven't seen many of those floating around yet, so Timothy must have brought it to him.
Yeah, he hooked him up,
buddy. I forgot what I was going to say.
What?
Maddie, ISO cam Steve, please.
No, please don't.
Please ISO cam Steve. Hey Steve, what cool stories did you have for us, buddy?
What happened?
I give that 0 tires out of 5.
0 tires, yeah.
The deserved to interesting-o-meter is asleep at the moment.
It went away. It poofed. It was in my head and it went poof.
All right, I think it's probably time to wrap.
All right, let's
Steve's
wrap.
brain's not working anymore. I want to say thank you to everybody who sent me this post.
Yes.
That request tab on Instagram where you get like DMs from random people and stuff, that's never been more filled with people sending me NHL players with their cars. So we have plenty of content for NHL Car Watch. Keep tagging us. Keep tagging SDPN Sports. Keep tagging my Instagram. We'll keep bringing them up on the show. It's a lot of fun.
Anything to add to that, Steve?
Steve,
your turn,
buddy.
That's the episode title right there. It's Buddy.
And if you made it this far, now you know why.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.